Hello all, welcome to Aspirants Study Circle. Today we will try to cover the most important bits in relation to international relations. So the first question is with respect to Group 20 or G20. So it was formed in 1999, and the second statement is it was in 2008 that the leaders of the G20 gathered for the first time, and India will overtake. The third statement is India will overtake the G20 presidency on 1st December of 2022. And the fourth statement is G20 has no permanent secretariat. Here, the solution, the answer is all of the above. So what you have to remember is 1997, there was an Asian financial crisis. And then in 2008, there was something called as subprime crisis. Right. So we have to. So from here, we can understand that G20 is mostly related to bringing about financial stability. Okay, and this is again a very important bit that India will be taking the presidency on 2022 of December. So another thing that you have to keep in mind is there's this concept called Troika. So now India will be given the seat. Right now it is Indonesia that holds, and then Italy was its predecessor. So the predecessor, the present, and the successor. So this is how it is seen. So for you to remember, all you have to do is remember those countries which you do not think are normal. For example, Mexico. For example, Saudi Arabia, Turkey. So also please do remember the G7 countries. Right. Now, Argentina. These countries are usually not thought of. So do remember Mexico and Saudi Arabia. So that will be helpful in eliminating options. Now the second question is with respect to IPEF. So IPEF was a conception of United States President Biden in Tokyo in May 23rd of 2022. Now the second question, the second statement is all the Southeastern Asian countries are a part of IPEF. Now the third statement says that IPEF is not a free trade agreement. And the fourth one says is India is a member of the IPEF. So here the question is incorrect. So the second statement is wrong because, see, you can take it as a thumb rule that if you have all, I think we all know this. So try to eliminate that question. But we will go through the map. So here, as you can see, there is no Cambodia, Laos, right? So you have to remember that all must be wrong. Now there are a total of 13 countries, and USA, Australia, New Zealand, and India. Remember these main countries and most of the Southeastern countries. And the four main pillars are trade, supply chain resiliency, decarbonization, infrastructure, and taxation, and anti-corruption. So these are the important points that you have to remember. Now that is with respect to IPEF. Now let's move on to the next question, which is with respect to European Union. Now European Union is a group of 27 countries that operates as cohesive economic political bloc. 27 countries, and only 19 of these use euro as their official currency. And in order to compete with the China's Belt Road Initiative, EU launched the Global Gateway Scheme. So here the answer is, which of these are incorrect? None of these are incorrect because all of these are true. Now you have to remember that there are 27, and at the same time not all use euro. For example, UK uses pounds, sterling. Right. So not all use. So just remember these figures 27 and 19. And global, this can also be asked global gateway scheme. So for example, we also have the global gateway of European Union, and also for example we have Build Back Better, which is an initiative of G7. Build Back Better. And then you have also Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment, which is again with respect to G7. And you also have Asia Africa Economic Corridor, which is an initiative of India and Japan. So just go through these because these are important. Now that is the third question. Let's move on to the fourth question, which is with respect to Quad. Now, which of the countries are Quad? So as we all know that we must be reading so much about Quad, so we can say that India, of course, Australia, US. So 1, 4, 6. Where is 1, 4, 6? So 1, 4, 6, and of course Japan. So this would be the right answer. Now With respect to Fordo and Nance region, often seen in news. So the context is JCOP, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, and then you have to remember P5 plus 1 countries, because it is a deal with this GCOPOA is a deal of P5 plus 1 countries and Iran with respect to nuclear enrichment. So this becomes the right answer, because nuclear enrichment is something that is a very contentious issue, and beyond certain percentage of enrichment that can be used for nuclear bombs. So we need to keep a check on that, and that is the reason why you need to remember JCPOA and P5 plus 1 countries. Please do comment in the comment section what are the countries which belong to P5 plus 1. Now, moving on to the next question. So, consider the following statements with regard to International Court of Justice. It is the only principal organ of United Nations that is not located in New York. Not located in New York. Okay. All members of the United Nations are automatically parties to the ICJ. All the United Nations members. The ICJ does not get jurisdiction over dispute of any conflicted countries unless they give consent to it. So, the correct statement are all of the above. So you have to remember, when you're reading about ICJ, do keep in mind International Criminal Court. So now, International Criminal Court and International Criminal Court of Justice and International Criminal Court. So this was a principal United Nations organization, as we've discussed over here, principal organ of the United Nations, and it is not located in it is not located in New York. It is located in Hague, Netherlands. Even ICC is located in Hague, Netherlands. Now, the subject matter is very broad over here. See, sovereignty, boundary, with respect to countries, very huge. Over here, you can, with respect to ICC, there is even criminal prosecution of individuals. This is a very key difference, because genocides, crimes, all of these can be considered under ICC. And remember that Rome Statute is linked to ICC. So these are the key differences, and it was constituted in 2002, whereas ICJ was constituted in 1946. These are the things that you need to remember. So next, coming to Shanghai Cooperation Agreement. So India became a full member when? So that was in 2017. So along with this, you have to remember that the recent summit was held in Samarkand in Uzbekistan. Right. And the next key highlight that you have to remember is the city of Varanasi was nominated as the first ever SEO tourism and cultural capital for the period of 2022 to 2023. So this can be expected. The city of Varanasi was considered as the first ever SEO tourism and cultural capital. Right. Now, another thing is, of course, you have to remember Samarkand of Uzbekistan. Right. Now, the next question is with regards to, and of course, yeah, if you have to remember the SEO countries as well. And please do comment in the comment section which of the Central Asian countries is not a part of SEO. Because most of them are. Which of the countries are not a part of SEO? That is the question. Please do comment in the comment section. Now, the next question would be with regards to BRICs. Now, the idea of BRICs was originally, yes, BRIC was floated by Jim O'Neill in 2008. The first summit of BRICS summit took place in 2009. South Africa joined the BRICs in 2010. So the first statement is wrong, because yes, indeed it was floated. The idea was floated by Jim O'Neill, but it was floated in 2001. That is something that you have to remember. Right. And the first summit took place in 2009. And then, yes, it was South Africa that joined in 2010. So another key things that you need to remember over here is that BRICS as a nation is around, it has about 41% of global population. 41%. So this is a very important, and also India chaired in BRICS in 2021. So here the BRICS summit, okay, you have to remember that India chaired it in 2021, and it was virtually hosted previously in the year 2022. Which country? It was China that hosted. Right. So few key terms that you need to remember with respect to BRICS is new development bank is with respect to BRICS, and also there is the concept of contingent reserve arrangement. So this again is linked to BRICS. So the idea of contingent reserve arrangement is aimed at forestalling short-term balance of payment pressures. So that is where these two key terms, NDB and contingent reserve arrangement, become important. So now the next question becomes, which of the following rivers are allocated to India under Indus Water Treaty? So as we know, we can see the map that the most easternmost, these are the easternmost, Ravi, Satluj and Beas. These have been allocated to India, and Jhelum, Indus and Chenab have been allocated to Pakistan. And most of this is with Pakistan, and a little around 20% and 80%. So this is something that you have to remember, most eastern part and the western part. Now moving on to the next question, which among the following international organizations provide technical advisory and financial support to SASAC regions? So here what you have to remember is, yes, the answer is Asian Development Bank, but additional information, you need to know the difference between Asian Development Bank, New Development Bank, where are the headquarters, and also, yes, Asian Infrastructure Bank. So these AIIB, you need to know the differences and also the countries. So these are the countries. We have India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, okay, and Myanmar, Sri Lanka. So these are the countries. Just remember, because South Asian, we are the South Asian countries. So the funding to South Asian sub-regional economic cooperation is by Asian Development Bank. So please do look into, comment in the comment section, what is the headquarters and the largest shareholders of each of this. What is the headquarters of AIIB and the largest share? Who is the largest shareholder? What, same thing with respect to ADB and same thing with respect to NDB. So I hope this session was useful. Thank you.